Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Onondaga County War Memorial. I'm Jack Morris, and with me for tonight's bouts, Frank Malfitano. Frank, it looks like we are in for an exciting night of boxing. This is championship night. Help set the scene. What do you think we're going to see?
It's a 139-pound light welterweight competition, open class, and it pits two guys that are good friends and sparring partners in the gym almost on a daily basis, Jose Feliu, and stepping into the ring right now, Jeff Sanderson. Jeff Sanderson won a controversial and very close decision over Rodney Smokey Brandon of Rochester last night in the semis. And Jose Feliu also won a very close controversial decision over Jeff White of Catskill. So this one should be a corker.
Well, I was on hand for Jeff Sanderson's bout, and I'll tell you, it was close.
Wasn't that a great bout?
It was an excellent display of whatever. It was a heck of a bout is what it was. So here we go, Jose Feliu and Jeff Sanderson.
Sanderson is the better puncher of the two, but Feliu's a very clever little boxer. And one of the things we should look for here, Jack, is that Sanderson will start out pretty slowly. He's always been a notoriously slow starter, and I look for Feliu to box him at long range and keep him away with the jab at first. Referee Tony Filippelli will be refereeing this bout as well. So if Feliu can get off first and box the way he did last night, I look for him to provide a real stiff challenge for Sanderson, who is the stronger puncher of the two.
Incidentally, while we're waiting for the start of the bout, in the novice competition, the team scoring, the Syracuse Boxing Club has won the team trophy, right?
Under the auspices of Coach Billy Harris, septuagenarian Billy Harris, a great guy.
He doesn't look like a septuagenarian. I'll tell you, he is eternally youthful.
He sure is, and trainer of champions.
Believe that. Matter of fact, one of his champions will be here, and maybe we'll get a chance to visit with him, Hal TNT Carroll.
All right.
How's that a name out of the past?
Horace was a great competitor.
Yes.
Of course, many people will remember him for having fought Bob Foster for the title, one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time.
Jeff Sanderson, Jose Feliu. Sanderson facing us, Jose on the left of the screen right now.
Feliu, the taller, rangier of the two. Caught off balance by a Sanderson left there. Both of them a little tight at this point.
And the referee, Tony Filippelli.
Actually, only one referee is allowed from each country to go to the Olympics, Jack, but this year, because the U.S. is the host country, we're getting two referees.
Who's the other one?
I'm sorry to say I don't know at this point.
Main thing is we know that Tony's one of them.
And he's from our own backyard. And a great ref, very great ref. Feliu is boxing beautifully. Sanderson the aggressor, but some nice counter-punching by Jose.
Again, 139-pound or light welterweight. Round one. Jeff Sanderson on the left, Jose Feliu on the right.
Again, Sanderson coming in, but Feliu scoring with a nice combination there off the ropes. This one's going pretty much as I predicted it might, Jack. I thought that Sanderson would be a little slow to get off and that Feliu would do some nice long-range boxing in the first round.
And that's just about what has happened, sure enough. They measure a bit, and then they go in after each other to see what combinations they can set up.
Sanderson seems to be warming up. I think we'll see a little bit more of him, and he'll be a little more active in the next round.
Right now, we'll take a look at older brother Jeff.
There's Phil Monty in the corner with Jeff Sanderson. Of course, Tommy Coulter's working the corner of Jose Feliu. The two head coaches from the Syracuse Friends of Amateur Boxing Club. It's located in the old Rescue Mission building over on East Washington Street here in Syracuse. And they've done an excellent job with their program. In a few short years' time, they've really got some great boxing happening in that club.
Well, the fact that the Golden Gloves are back here in Syracuse is a nice testimony to that commitment to boxing.
We were talking a little bit earlier about the history of the Golden Gloves. The Syracuse newspaper sponsored it for many years here. It moved to Buffalo under the auspices of Monsignor Kelleher and the Working Boys Home in the 50s. Came back here because Tommy Coulter brought it back here in 1976. It's been here for the past 9 years, with the exception of the past 2 years, Jack, when Tommy moved it out to Utica because of a lack of fan participation. And Tommy has brought it back this year and says it's here to stay.
Regardless
of what happens. So,
well, we know the fans are seeing a lot of action, and maybe they'll want to get out and participate next year because it's going to be at least as good and maybe a little bit better. This is the 139-pound open division championship bout. Jeff Sanderson back to the camera. Jose Feliu, both from the Syracuse Friends of Boxing, and both mixing it up right now. Sanderson appearing to be more on the attack, and he might have Feliu in just a little bit of difficulty, Frank.
Well, Feliu seemed to be hanging on. Jeff scored with a couple of good punches, got a combination in there, starting to warm up as we said he would. He's looking good, looking much better than he did in the first round.
But again, Jose maintaining his poise.
Jose's a very clever little boxer. He looked like he was in trouble last night, and you'll remember that he dropped his opponent just when his opponent thought he had the better of him. So Jose's a tricky little fighter, but Sanderson's really coming on.
Sanderson knocking him off balance just a moment, and he's got him on the ropes.
Scored with a good right hand there, but Jose's coming back. There's a good left hand. This is all Sanderson this round, Jack. No question about it. Jeff is really heating up.
And even the 4-strand rope almost wasn't enough for Jose that time.
Jose almost took a seat here at ringside next to us. Jack, the Syracuse Boxing Club, under the direction of Billy Harris, won the novice championships. It looks like Tommy Coulter, Syracuse Friends of Amateur Boxing Club, has a commanding lead in the open team championship standings. And I think that's one of the reasons Tommy brought it back to Syracuse. There's a great right hand from Sanderson.
He really caught Mr. Feliu that time.
Jose's in trouble. Looks like it's 8 count time from referee Filippelli. A good move by Tony.
Well, Jeff Sanderson, John Sanderson out of Fayetteville, Manlius area, FM High School.
Dad Nelson Sanderson is a professional photographer in the area. And a real boxing fan.
He must be that. He's got 2 good reasons to be, I know that. The phrase setting him up comes to mind. Frank Malfitano, as in Jeff Sanderson just kind of measures his man and then goes in. But to Jose Feliu's credit, he's ready most of the time.
Sanderson is doing an excellent workmanlike job, very methodical. But Jose's been around. He's very clever. He's a Southern Tier champ. He's a former Golden Gloves novice champ himself. So he's no stranger to the ring. He's been around. He knows them. He knows the tricks, and he can take a good shot as well as dish one out.
Jeff Sanderson, with the final 3 minutes of boxing, the final round about to come up, and Sanderson apparently would be in the lead at this time.
Oh, I would definitely say, based on his performance in the second round, I thought Jose did an excellent job in the first round. I gave the edge to Jose in the first round, but Sanderson took a commanding lead in the second round. So I have Sanderson slightly ahead on points at this point.
He is defending novice champion. If he can do what Mark Fiorini did, then we will have had history repeating itself.
How about that?
With a chance for it to happen at least one more time.
With Frank Lyles.
Right.
Who's a defending novice champion, coming up next in the 147-pound welterweight open. Well, that's precisely why Tommy Coulter brought the gloves back here to Syracuse, because he said that the proficiency of the Syracuse boxers had reached a point where now there was a following and there was fan support. People could identify with the boxers, and that's what it's all about.
Final round 3, open division championship night. This portion of the program, the 9th annual Golden Gloves. From the Onondaga County War Memorial here in Syracuse, I'm Jack Morris, along with Frank Malfitano. We are ringside. Jeff Sanderson, On the left, Jose Feliu back to the camera at the moment, with Jeff Sanderson apparently having the edge at this point, but again, it's not over.
It's never over with Feliu. As he pointed out last night, he comes back and he surprises you and he pulls a few tricks out of his bag, and the next thing you know, he's got his opponent. There's a nice left. He's boxing beautifully. He's catching Sanderson. He's bloodied Sanderson's nose at this point. Feliu really needs to win big this round to kind of equalize the last round on the part of Sanderson when it was all Sanderson.
Good observation.
Right, Jeff, you got it. Yeah, go.
And that one caught Jose Feliu, and he is...
Set him up with a left, got him with a right. Nice combination.
He is bothered.
Referee Tony Filippelli looking into his eyes. Looks like he's okay to continue.
Again, both boxers are from the Syracuse Friends of Amateur Boxing. So either way,
Tommy Coulter
club
goes home happy.
This club will have another representative in St. Louis.
At the Nationals, that's right. The winners of all the open class championships advance to the national finals in St. Louis the 3rd week of April this year. Well, the effects of those blows are obviously showing on Feliu. His legs look a little wobbly at this point, Jack.
He's a little bit less willing maybe to get in and trade some punches too.
And I think based on the 2 8 counts that Sanderson has built up kind of a commanding lead, and it's going to be very difficult for Jose to win the decision. There's another nice combination.
Got him
a
right
hand lead followed by a left. Stunned
on the
Feliu.
button.
Stunned Feliu. There's another good left getting in. There's a right. Now Feliu comes back with a flurry of his own.
Come on, Jeff, you got your mark. Let's go.
And that's the end of the fight.
Real fine bout, Jack. Real good competition. Both of them went at it. 2 interesting styles. But again, I think in the end it was the power punching, the stronger punching of Jeff Sanderson that told the story.
All right. We will await the official decision. Again, there are 5 judges, a 20-point must system. This is Jeff Sanderson. That is the boxer must, whoever wins the round must be rewarded the 20 points. And here's an interesting thing, Frank, and I was going to mention it sometime or another.
There we get a look at Jose Feliu coming out of the corner, going over to congratulate Jeff Sanderson. As I said, they're sparring partners and good buddies.
What happens when a boxer is ahead and he's got his 20 points, but he is warned? They don't take a point away from him. They give a point to his opponent in a situation.
That's right, Jack. The winner of the round must have 20 points according to International Amateur Boxing Federation rules. So the point, as you mentioned, is awarded to the competitor.
And both of the boxers in the, well, near the center of the ring with referee Tony Filippelli waiting for the announcement.
There's little John Sanderson in the background, who we saw earlier this evening, Jeff's little brother.
And
well,
it is Jeff Sanderson.
No surprise there, Jack.
Again, each of the contestants receives a trophy. And of course, Jeff will receive a ticket to St. Louis.